Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppers, today joined by
Brett
of Anomyces, checking out some more lagers from Gänstaller in Germany, in Bamberg. They were kind enough to send over the beers, so thanks to Gänstaller for the beers. They sent us most of their range, pretty much, that they've been doing so far. And the first two beers were a really nice surprise. Really loved the Helles. That was fantastic. But a lot of you guys, especially you guys in Sweden, have been telling me you need to check out this brewery. And we finally did. So we're checking out two lagers today. Two I'm really excited about, which is their Zoigl and their Kellerpils. So a Pilsner and a Zwickelbier. So the fun thing is, like, all these different names. This is Kellerpils because you have Kellerbier, and I guess it's a Pilsner, but the reference to it is like it's made down in, a reference to the Bamberg area. I'd imagine aging in the
caves,
big caves and all that. You know, as you did with Kellerbier back in the day, and some of these classic brewers still do. Whereas Zwickelbier is interesting because that's kind of like a variation on Kellerbier. It's similar types, in style, with the whole, often unpressurized fermented lager. Like a lot of the Kellerbiers and Zwickelbiers are fermented without pressure. You get a little bit more complexity in one from it, but also one of the things with it is that it's usually served younger than a Kellerbier. Yeah. So Zwickelbier is usually served quite quickly, quite freshly.
And also a bit more malty.
Yes, also often has more malt than others, Kellerbiers. And also, there's even a sub-style of this, which is interesting, called Zoiglbier. Some people also call it that, but these styles, especially Zoigl and Zwickel, can be so hard to distinguish between because they're so similar, they're so close. But these are like the historic, authentic styles of making lager in Germany before refrigeration. So I think that's really cool.
It is.
Where you had to use caves to mature your beer. But this one, I'm guessing, is just a little tribute. It says it's an Untitled Pils. So I'm taking it to, a more of a nice classic spin on it. Pilsner is 5.1% alcohol, 40 IBUs. So quite up high there. And it says Naturtrübes Pils mit früchtiger Hopfennote. So a natural Pilsner with fruity hop flavors. So I think we'll check that one out.
Yeah, because that's the lowest in ABV.
Yes. And it looks very nice.
Yep.
Very carbonated.
Yeah.
Spritzy and Effervescent. The head you can generate is super fluffy.
Yeah.
Look at that. Such a pillowy head.
It looks like quality in a glass.
It sure does. Yeah. And it's lightly unfiltered too, if you look at it. It's got a little bit of haze to it.
Yeah.
But man, and they're super fresh. I mean, this is only a few weeks old. It's hard we get lagers this fresh. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And also in cans, that helps it.
Yeah, I think that's awesome for a more old school brewer to do stuff like this. But yeah, let's check out the aroma. Oh man. That smells really phenomenal. Nice. Yeah. That, just like the Helles, it is totally reminding me of Centner.
Yeah.
That Franconian, bright but super malty Pilsner.
Oh, it really has that super doughy, freshly baked bread.
Yeah. That's also with the Helles. It was so doughy and so... I want to crush this right away. Just one whiff of the aroma.
Yeah.
This just smells like quality.
Hints of orange. To me, I'm rarely getting orange.
I'm also getting like a creamy note, like an interesting creamy caramel, almost like toffee-esque thing. It's super light, and I won't say like toffee malt, but it could be maybe a slight butterscotch thing. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not necessarily thinking it's like diacetyl at all.
Think it smells
it's just like a creamy kind of malt thing. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, but I think it's because of that just really fresh, bolty.
I think that
freshly baked
just
bread.
Really fresh grain aroma. Like just super fresh and grassy, quite floral too.
Yeah,
I didn't see that orange thing. A bit of dried orange too.
Yeah. But for some reason, this one has more orange than you usually get in Pilsners or in Kellerpils or whatever.
It smells phenomenal though.
Yeah.
Let's try it, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, you can drink a lot of that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
nice bitterness throughout.
Really snappy bitterness.
Yeah.
Wow. Fuck, that's a great Pilsner.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people said they like the Helles more. I don't. I prefer this. It's just that snap. I think that's also why I like really hop forward Pilsners and bitter Pilsners, because it's that snap as you get in like West Coast IPA that all the rhythm. It's the
or something like Ectopils.
yeah,
It's that same
this
kind
is
of snap.
kind of similar to that beer. Just maybe it has more of a substantial malt flavor.
Yeah.
It's also a little bit darker, maybe. You know, if you look on the color, the camera, it's a slightly darker color. I'm guessing with these, also to get like these more intense malty flavors, without going overboard, they use maybe a little bit of Cara Pilsner or something like that, just like a lighter caramel malt to just amplify breadiness. Because it's like so much freshly baked bread on this.
Yeah, but it's also quite floral, almost a little bit soapy. The hop character.
And I get that often actually in Pilsners. A slightly soapy hop character when it's really floral, but I don't mind that at all. It's almost like even towards slightly grapefruity or something like that because it's so bitter.
Yeah.
It's really spicy as well. It's got like that perfect Kräuter note you want like in this kind of style. That like spicy herbal bites there's on the back end, like really peppery, really like
white pepper.
Yeah. It really has that, like, with all that dryness on the end, which just cuts so nicely. It just makes you want to drink some more.
Yeah.
Man.
That's really good.
That's really good Pilsner.
Yeah.
So let's move on to Zoigl, the Zwickelbier. This one is more of a dark color. It's more amber. When we just poured it, and it was on camera and also in shadows, we didn't have the light here. It almost looked lightly red.
Yeah.
But it definitely looks more of like
also
a
like a super nice, tightly packed head.
Yeah, the heads on these beers, the head retention is amazing.
Yeah.
Even though they die down because we take all the pictures and everything.
Yeah.
It looks really nice in the glass.
Yeah, but as long as you don't sit and swirl it, it will, stay in the carbonation. So.
Yeah. What does it take out the one to smell? Even more of a substantial, like sweeter, malty, bready character to this, but it's still fairly hoppy too. It's really also reminiscent of what we have at the Wharf from St. Georgen. This just smells more soft and delicate.
A bit less hoppy.
Yeah.
Than that one, but I'm getting almost like this brown bread kind of thing.
Totally freshly toasted, not like rye bread, but not Danish rye bread. Like these. Have you ever, Puggen bread?
I know.
Almost like their kind of rye breads because they're just like toast with rye.
And also, just sometimes the baker does this kind of slightly, people sometimes want this in between thing between rye bread and white bread.
Yeah.
And it just,
it's kind of like that, like brown bread
I just think it's maybe you use just a bit of spelt or just a bit of rye.
Yeah, rye flour, you get a bit darker. Like, you can get like these is it hazelnut? I think hazelnut walnut breads.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Yeah.
At least what you can get here, because in rye bread in Denmark, if you ask a Danish person versus someone anywhere else in the world, they wouldn't think of rye bread as the Danish rye bread. They think of a more light bread, whereas I guess it's reminiscent to something like pumpernickel.
Yeah, pumpernickel.
But it smells really good.
I'm getting the hoppiness on this one is a bit more grassy.
Yeah, it's more grassy. It's not as spicy, and also definitely
also
floral.
Not as floral.
I think it's definitely floral, but maybe less citrus.
Yeah. I'm getting more like this grassy floral kind of thing.
But I'm also getting that kind of slightly almost soapy because it's fairly floral, but really nice. Doughy, bready, malty character, and a touch more like slightly caramelly, almost just like fresh Munich malt. Really, it smells really nice too. Let's try it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Wow, that's really good. What a mouthfeel for a 5.5.
Oh man.
5.6% beer. It's so velvety,
and it suits that it has just a bit less carbonation.
Yeah, because it has more of a sweet malt profile, but
it just makes it a bit more, comforting in some way.
This also I think they must do something with water treatment as well in these, because this is 35 IBUs, this is 40. This snaps like crazy compared to this. This is more soft and rounded on the hop character.
Yeah.
This feels like you add some sulfate or something like that. Sulfate.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's sulfate.
Just to make the hops pop and snap more. Whereas this is just more soft and rounded. Really soft velvety body for a Pilsner too.
This is crazily drinkable though, because it has a bit less bitterness, but it's still a bit floral and a bit grassy, and just that super like comforting kind of malt character.
Yeah.
Of slightly brown bread. Yeah.
Yeah, slightly brown breads. But what I love as well is like not all the way towards these kind of
it's not
like,
that sweet.
Like Kellerbiers and Kellerbiers, Dunkel lagers and like maybe some Vienna lagers. Not all, but it's it's still a fairly hop-centric beer, a lager beer, and those are the ones I prefer, which I really, that's why I really enjoy this as well. It has like a bit of that fresh Munich malt flavor, but it's not so much that it's like really sweet. Mm-hmm. It's just like a light, more pronounced bready sweetness. Oh, and I guess that's also, kind of like just a sweeter, darker bread kind of flavor to this one. But then paired with that hoppiness,
but it's
really
still
nice.
But so balanced.
Both are so elegant though, and talk about balance in lager beers.
Yeah, I maybe think that this one it's not the most balanced pills I've had because it snaps.
It snaps, but balance in terms of just everything being nice and cohesive in the experience of drinking it, I think is nice. But yeah, this one's definitely more balanced if we talk as like just no flavors really peaking. But I like how this snaps and it has some edges because a Pilsner needs to be bitter. Yeah. A Pilsner shouldn't be a hop-centric Helles. It should be like this, like with a big snap. Yeah. But yeah.
I would say the only thing that drags this one a bit down for me is that slightly soapy note. I'm not too keen on it. I think it sticks just a bit too much compared to what I would enjoy because I like bitterness. Especially, I want this kind of bitterness in a Pilsner, but I think it's just a touch too soapy to my preference. Yeah. But it's really good.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. I'm thinking, I drank a lot of Ectopils last summer because Brewing sent me a whole case.
I prefer that one over this one.
I think I prefer maybe slightly, but I can't say 100% because I haven't had it since last summer.
No.
But I will put it around the same territory. So I'm going like 94. I think this is very close to world class, if not really like kind of early world class type Pilsner beer. I could go 95, I think, even just because it has everything I want, just like with the Sintner. Everything I pretty much want. But since we still rate subjectively, Pilsner will never be something maybe I'll give 100. It will be something where I'm a bit more floored by. But if we had to say in terms of drinkability and crushability, it'd be 100.
Within the style.
Or within the style, it'd be super high top tier remarks.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, I think I enjoy this around the same level as the Helles, so I'm going 93 on this one. I just love the snappiness and everything on the Pilsner, but this is such a balanced beer. Maybe even a small 94 on this too.
Yeah.
I really see why you guys talked so much about this brewery because they've been so far making some fantastic classic beers.
Yeah. Again, the only thing that just pulls this one a bit down for me is that slightly soapy note. It reminds me of the off can. I had one can of Ectopils that was a bit off, that was for some reason it had this really strong soapy note. Not, absolutely more than this, but it was actually undrinkable because it was almost like hop burn in a Pilsner, but just like really intensely floral and
because it's classical hops. Maybe that's why it presents itself like that. And I can totally see what you mean. It's definitely in there, but I don't think it's too extreme.
No.
And the thing is, maybe that's also because it's really fresh.
And
maybe
it's also because it's a very delicate style. And
so
in this style, if something is just a hair too much, you'll recognize it. And I think I've had so much lager now, and I had Tibopils again, not yesterday but the day before. And
you like Tibopils over this?
Yes, I do.
He's a Tipo fanboy.
I think that's a slightly better beer than this one actually. I just prefer the finish of that one a bit more. But this is my wheelhouse normally, but I actually prefer this one a bit more. The other one. I'm so surprised by the dryness and the freshness of it, although it has that slightly darker malt character. Yeah. So I'll probably go 93, 94 on this one, and maybe a 91, straight 90 on the Kellerpils.
I think my favorite so far is definitely the Kellerpils, and then I'll say these two equally. The Weizen was quite nice, but
yeah,
I'd love to get some more of this.
This is also absolutely seek these out.
Yeah, and this is also something I want to drink more of it to find out which one I really like. Also because they're not crazy high in ABV. You can definitely kick back with a couple of cans, and also like the flavor, it doesn't fatigue you as much.
No.
It's such a it's a nicer beer to have a lot more of.
Yeah.
And it's easier to define which one your 100% favorites with stuff like this, and compare it to like crazy hop New England pale ales and IPAs and whatnot. But yeah, I think it's really, really good. I'm really looking forward to the last few cans. The Rauchbier and Amarillo Starkbier.
Yeah.
We'll see how much I like that one. I mean, Box are not usually my wheelhouse.
It's something quite different, but I'd love to try maybe another batch of this one, or maybe it slightly aged.
Yeah.
Just because maybe that soapy note will, decline a bit or not be there.
We should make an order, because they also have a Kellerbier. I think it's just called Kellerbier, which we didn't get in this shipment. So maybe get that and get some of this.
Yeah.
Maybe Michael will be on board.
I'd love to have both of these and maybe the Helles.
Yeah. Because they're fantastic. So bready. Crazy breadiness on these. So yeah, if you guys had a chance to try either Gänstaller Zwickelbier Zoigl or Naturtrübes Pils Kellerpils Zoigl, let us know what you thought of them. Again, really, really damn good classic brewed beer from down in Bamberg. You can get it at I don't know how far the shipping goes, but it's pretty much mainland Europe. I'm not sure if the UK is involved, but they have a web shop where you can buy these if you want to try them. And we also have to say a big thanks to Gänstaller for the beers. Again, we're not praising them just because we got them. They are really nice lagers, and you guys recommended
I didn't even know that they sent them. I knew that you talked about ordering some.
Yeah. Well, also because subscribers kept talking about it.
Yeah.
You need to check these out if you like lagers, and I understand why. So yeah, around the center level, really. It's also fantastic lager beer. If you guys had a chance to try either of these two, let us know what you thought of them. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And we're gonna say cheers in each our favorite, and see you guys in another beer review.